I don't think Darkness Falls has ever seen such a long history of patch notes from experimental to stable. Alpha 21 brought a complete rewrite for modders around the world, and Darkness Falls was no exception. The patch notes read like an extremely long dissertation, but I will say that version 5 is a testament to Kane's dedication to the mod and also the great work that the Darkness Falls team does in supporting him. Kane launched version 5 experimental way back in August, update after update, and then sat around for a few weeks while waiting for the fun pimps to eventually go stable with Alpha 21.2. Version 5 sporting a new opening splash screen, which is contributed by Toby. I only started playing Darkness Falls in version 3, but the opening theme is something I've heard countless times. The theme vanished in Alpha 20, but for the nostalgic among you, it's back in Alpha 21. Other artwork and user interface changes you will notice very soon by the display updates when interacting with NPCs and monsters. The interface also does not have the POI name thrown into your face every single time you walk into one or nearby one, but is a subtle display on the top right corner with the threat levels removed. Thankfully, Kane still has the outrageous and annoying long reach of zombies removed. I hate the extremely long reach that the vanilla game features, and I am glad that Kane still has that annoying feature taken out. If you are playing B28 experimental, then it is unlikely you need a new save for version 5. It worked fine when I tested with B28 going into stable, and Kane suggests it won't be a problem. However, don't start a new save at your own risk. Remember, this is Alpha 21.2 stable. There is an install guide in my description and at the end of this video. When it comes to certain features in the game, when Kane says never for a certain feature being added to Darkness Falls, what he means is that feature will never be added to the mod until it is actually added. And so we have remote storage broadcasting. Oh wait, no, that was a previous never feature. Version 5 has brought coil and laser turrets to the mix. As much as Kane vowed it would never happen, he apparently got bored and decided it was time to see if he could get them working. As usual, they can be screamer magnets, but at least they do bring another higher level of attack and damage to your higher end monsters. And of course, if you have the ammo to keep them going, at least there is something to aid your fight against the demons and help keep those pesky succubi off your horde base roof. Turds were pretty much stuffed up earlier in the version, and thankfully they have been fixed. As Kane said, clearly the most important fix of version 5. Without good toilet turd loot, where in the hell would this mod actually be? On the other hand, Caitlin has had an unnecessary fix. The version 4 camera has been repaired. Sorry, I mean broken. So it does not get stuck on her waist or her chest anymore when you check out her inventory. You can now have a meaningful conversation with her that includes some eye contact.
Goodbye.
Moving back to how nights used to be pretty dark in the early alphas, Kane's Darkness Falls is now featuring darker nights for a more authentic apocalyptic experience. Take a look at Anna's house during the night in version 4 Alpha 20. Just a normal night. Now, shifting to version 5 for a normal night but with a different darker experience. To help with a reason to go out at night, Kane has added game stage and loot bonuses for all biomes when you venture out in the evening. In version 4, the loot bonus was removed from all biomes except a bit for the wasteland, though they are now back at night. So when you explore after 10 PM, you will get a game stage increase, except in the forest, as well as a loot bonus with all of the biomes. As you can see, I am in the snow biome. At this point in the game, my loot stage early on is around about 14 during the day. A few hours later, it has now jumped to loot stage 34 at night in the same place. Kane has been helped by various players with skills. Besides using SphereII's work in Darkness Falls, SphereII was pinpointed for fixing duplication problems during remote crafting. As previously mentioned, Toby added the new menu screen, though he also had his hand in tweaking rifles, the non-automatic rifles that is. Kysoto also did a lot of work on sorting out reflex sights and fixing aiming problems with coil and laser guns. Myth, who many also know her as Darkness Falls Insane is the Real Experience, has been stepping out of her comfort zone and sorting out problems that are not related to Insane. She has been fixing many of the PEP POIs with their conversion to Alpha 21. Between her, Lemon Pie, and Captain Crunch, a lot of work has gone into the PEP prefabs. The POI Expansion Pack is a pack of about 380 POIs that can be added to the vanilla maps. Originally created by Kane with permission from other modders, it is now also on Nexus as a separate downloadable mod. So you don't have to play Darkness Falls if you would like to use it. A lot of fixes balances has gone into making this compatible. Finally, we have another team member. IDC has been digging into numerous fixes, patches, and additions to Darkness Falls, including multiplayer issues and problems. IDC also added a modlet which prevents players from loading the vanilla worlds, which are not supposed to be loaded because the vanilla worlds don't have the custom POIs that are required, and so they don't show up in the menu anymore. Kane has also removed the vanilla do collector and replaced it with a version from IDC. You'll see a journal entry that has been added, you know, that thing that you probably never read. Well, a journal entry has been added and it will explain everything that you need to know about the new collector. The do collector has 4 tools or modifications you can add to enhance it. 2 of them you can purchase and the other 2 are crafted. Eventually you can upgrade it and use it with a mineral filter which gives you straight filtered water. Of course, you can still also use a working sink to satisfy your bulk water needs, but it is a very cool and very nice setup that has been added by IDC. Moving to the Beehive and Chicken Coop, IDC updated them so that they can take animal feed, which is added or loaded into them. No more having to worry about whether you have to right or left click on the coop. Then there is the brand new animal snare, which is sporting a whole new model, and the same loading of animal feed can be done here. You'll notice the snare can be upgraded to work faster and be more efficient with its meat, fat, and the leather it collects. He also added a handy little tooltips to make it easy to figure out what the hell these items are. Take a look at the patch notes and check out the IDC references if you would prefer a more comprehensive idea of what his grubby paws have been involved in. If you don't know what IDC means, then, well, hey, I don't care. The random world generator has never been better for Darkness Falls. As you know, custom POIs in the mod can be biome specific, and obviously need to all be included in every single randomly generated map. These days, the random world generator should add all your custom POIs without a problem. You will notice that Darkness Falls has PEP and non-PEP pre-generated maps in the stable version. So if you wish to play without the 380 additional POIs, then fire up the non-PEP maps. Otherwise, I recommend you use the PEP maps, which will include a chance of many of the additional POIs. And of course, you can use the random world generator, which will have a chance to use some of the PEP POIs in its creation.
Come here, you little shit.
NPCs have had quite an overhaul in version 5. Unfortunately, the survivors that roam the countryside have not made the cut. They're pretty much broken and need a lot of fixing, so for now you'll not see them in the game. If the Fun Pimps actually deliver the bandits in Alpha 22, it will be great to see what the modders will be doing with them, but don't hold your breath. You may recall way back in version 4 for Alpha 20, the White River Scout was introduced after the Trader Guard captain got sick and, well, died of COVID. She has had quite a few hiccups and problems since her introduction. Now, even the multiplayer version of the Scout has been given some love. Hopefully things have been sorted out to prevent her from moving and migrating around the trader or falling through walls. The Scout will also sell more of her essentials, so instead of 2 or 3 of the medical items, she'll have a larger number of those items that can be stocked. You can also obtain your crafting perks by paying her some dukes. Just make sure that you have the correct level to be able to use those skills. Finally, tier 6 quests are now also available from the Scout. Anna, the last NPC in the current storyline, has also had aspirations of moving out of her house. Like the scouts, Kane has hopefully got her to stop moving around and is under control. She has now been shoved into a closet and will hopefully not be coming out at any point. Kane has added an invisible wall to try keep her in one location, quite similar to what he did with the scout. Speaking of Anna, the final quest was given yet another change. For many, the significance and reason for the final quest, or getting down to the research lab from hell, is to obtain the much sought after laser workbench. Owing to a multiplayer bug in the vanilla game, Kane made the laser workbench and the fusion forge in the research lab a non-working version. So you can't use them, which means that you can't craft your laser workbench in the lab anymore. So you may ask, what is the point then of going down to this hellhole? Well, once you finish the quest and return to Anna, she will reward you with a portal power source, which, of course, for many of us, that sounds quite familiar. With this unique portal power source, you can then craft a laser workbench with your metal workstation. A new recipe has been added to the metal workstation, and you can now use the portal power source. Another option to get the portal power source is to bash the crap out of the final portal at the end of the quest. You can then loot the portal. In it, you should find a few power sources, which you can also use for the laser workbench. There are those who dislike going down to the research lab. Well, if you really want, you can try get lucky with Caitlin. There is a chance that she will stock a portal power source sooner or later. It is usually between 100 and 200,000 dukes, depending on the various bartering levels that you may possess. But it is an option instead of going down the hellhole. But really, the research lab is part of your initiation in playing Darkness Falls, so you should try it out at some point. Traders now perform a complete and full inventory reset on restock day, so there is a better chance of seeing different items in the trader. The rewards you get from the traders in the Tier 5 quests have also been adjusted, so that the Tier 5 quests do not give silly items like sewing kits anymore. Some of you will remember that when you repaired a vehicle, like a motorcycle, the vehicle would fall out of the sky and appear in front of you. This would also sometimes bug out and the vehicle would vanish. Now, repaired vehicles will automatically appear in your inventory instead. The spawn rates of repairable vehicles has also been increased, so you should see a lot more dotted around the map. We all know the military armor in the game. Well, now it has a bigger brother. There is a new stealth version that has been added. This military stealth armor includes all 5 pieces from head to toe and is unlocked in the hunter class at mastery level. It has similar characteristics to the standard military armor, but all pieces have a slightly higher armor rating, better stamina use, and you guessed it, does not increase your movement noise level. So, certainly a great upgrade if you're keen on wearing a light armor and moving off the padded version. Now, we also have a secondary military armor that Kane introduced. Though this is actually supposed to be a lighter version of titanium armor and is called titanium reinforced Kevlar armor. Quite similar to the titanium armor, but without the stamina, mobility, and noise penalties that the higher titanium version has. You may recall that the best all-in-one armor in the mod, Power Armor, has 2 bonuses. Kane previously added an indicator to make sure that you knew that you were fully protected from radiation with the radiation symbol. But now there's also a second armor symbol to just give those players that reassurance that they are protected from both radiation and fire when wearing a full set of Power Armor. Stone weapons and tools are usually open at the start without any additional skills. However, scrap weapons are now automatically unlocked at the start as well. To help balance this change, Kane has made the scrap weapons require more resources to craft. The junk turrets in Darkness Falls are well known for their amazing ability to be useful in the late game. Kane has gone a step further in version 5 with now adding titanium darts. Previously you had iron darts that could be used, but now there is a titanium version to add that extra damage that you're going to need against those demons. There is also a more distinct line between all the guns in your arsenal and the laser versions. Many would stick with Coil a bit more longer because of the extra damage and bonus that it would give against demons. However, I like that Kane is pushing players to further explore and make sure they upgrade to laser weapons. As much as coil guns do now have the ability to disable demon health regeneration, they do not give a damage bonus to demons anymore. On top of that, the next level of demons which were introduced in Alpha 20 can only be subdued with laser weapons. Your empowered demons with their excessive health regeneration are not affected by coil weapons. Shooting an empowered demon with a coil carbine, you can see his health jumping back up each time. They are considerably more difficult to kill. Now, switch to a laser weapon, and even with the delayed single shot, there is a significant difference. So for empowered demon level and higher, make sure you are at laser level technology. Laser weapons have two sets of ammunition. In version 5, Kane tweaked the normal energy cells to now give 100% additional damage to demons, while the overcharged energy cell variant does a whopping 200% damage against demons. Again, more incentives to use laser and make laser a lot more effective against your top tier monsters. Pulse mines, which are your top tier mines, are also sporting much more damage. I remember demoing the mines in one of my version patch videos in Alpha 20 and thinking they certainly do need more punch, as I could hardly even kill a single demon with them, even with maxed out skills. Kane to the rescue. Pulse mines now have similar damage as the pulse rockets, which is around about 4 times more damage than they used to have before.
We have the holy hand grenade.
Yes, of course! The Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch.
Since the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch was introduced by Kane, I mean the Pulse Grenade, it has been the undoing of many a player. This grenade has probably killed more people than the demons it was supposed to actually kill. One of the easiest things to find on the Darkness Falls Discord are people joking and lamenting the Pulse Grenade. That feeling that you get when you throw a Pulse Grenade and kill yourself. Pulse grenades will absolutely kill the user. Pulse grenades are the devil's work. Well, it's true. I kill myself whenever I use them. And IDC said, until recently, pulse grenades could collide with air on occasion. From just dropping on the floor when you threw it, to just not being able to throw it far enough or in the correct direction, this little demon in disguise appears to have finally had the right TLC applied to it. This time around, in an attempt to fix this little bad boy, Kane has removed the gravity property from pulse grenades to see if this will help with throwing. He also changed the mesh to see if this helps with players throwing it properly. Well, time will tell. You can let me know in the comments to see if your pulse grenades are now more player-proof. Kane has added fusion rockets. Now, I first looked at this and thought, well, we have a 1200 damage pulse rocket, so how bad could this puppy be? It is probably a few hundred damage more. I didn't realize it has a radius of 25, which is nearly double that of the dev grenades. However, it has a damage of 25,000. I don't think it is a great Horde Knight weapon, as its block damage is sitting on 10,000. So, don't use this around your base. I do think it should come with a warning before firing. Eric's hammer can now take the stun baton repulsor mod. As Kane said, well, because it's funny. One of the first changes that you may have already noticed is that demons have a tint and not the version 4 particles anymore. In version 4, a typical demon had particles flying around their body. Your demon in version 5 now have tinting, which Kane contributes to Xylox, the District 0 dev. Entry-level demons, the ones you first bump into, are now tinted orange. As before, there are a whole host of them, all ready to send you to hell. The old man stripper doesn't appear to know if he wants to be a rad zombie or demon, but I believe it is just the way it has to be done due to the old models. We now enter the new tinted empowered demonic forces. These are the stronger variants of the demonic general troops and are tinted with a red color. There are a number of reasons they are your top tier troops. Currently, pulse mines don't have much impact on empowered demons, and they are pretty much immune to most weapons from coil level and under. The shift to the tinted option and moving away from the version 4 particles is that tinted demons take far less memory and resources. There's also the added bonus that they are now not spotted from a mile off anymore. Previously, these particles could be seen through walls, so it was kind of letting the cat out of the bag as to who was hiding there. These wenches are known to be a pain in Darkness Falls, calling in all sorts of nonsense when you least want them to. Now, they have a few more sisters that are bringing on the pain, introducing the new demonic and the empowered demonic screamers. At night, they are really quite distinct and certainly look like something should kill them as soon as possible. As they are demonic, the chances of a quick kill before they scream will be more difficult, but you should be able to one-shot kill them by the time you end up with the empowered versions. Still, these young ladies are certainly not taking any crap from you in version 5. Now, let's talk about the projectile mechanics and the massive but welcome change that Kain has introduced in version 5. In the game so far, you've had mainly one spitter. The one spitter was this big boy here, the Vomit Master himself. Times have changed and we now have more spitters. Besides the cop zombie, there is Big Mama, the tourist, and the hazmat zombie. These all spit and they all explode in the same way as the cop does. The vomit from these newer ranged zombies also has more of a spread to it. This helps with the ability for players to better dodge the vomit. What is more, by doing this, vomit is also less likely to phase through or glitch through blocks. So as much as this is a vanilla problem, this is a simplistic workaround that does help a bit, according to Kain. Demons no longer throw fireballs or set you on fire unless they are one of the spitters or higher tier demons like the succubus. Demons have in the past all been quite similar, not much diversity. The thinking behind these changes is to eventually have more variation in the enemy with various stats and abilities. For example, starting with the projectile zombies, you begin with the lower tier spitters and move up the tiers, such as with the ferals, rads, and certain demons that can also spit. Then eventually you don't want to be hit by an empowered demon spitter. As one of the Darkness Falls team members, Dobbers, said, being shotgunned by an empowered spitter will erase you. The Hell Pigeon or Demon Vulture is finally fighting to its full potential. It was meant to shoot fireballs since its birthday way back in version 4. The Hell Pigeon has basically been more of a tanky budgie. Now it certainly is worthy of being called a Demon Vulture from Hell. So besides the succubi, now expect vultures to come packing. Owing to a vanilla bug, Kain also has shrunk the vultures, so now your rad and your demon vultures are smaller and the same size as a normal vulture. Hopefully we can have them made larger again and more intimidating once the bug is actually fixed, if it does. Another fireball-related fix is the mutated Broodmother. The Broodmother's fireball now also does radiation damage. The fireball still looks like a normal fireball, but you'll also get radiation damage which will tick over for a few seconds. I have the download link for version 5 in my description, otherwise check out the Darkness Falls Discord as well. As many of you know, Kain is an avid supporter of cats and the County Cat Rescue where he lives, so I've posted a link to their website in my description for any donations if you wish to throw some support in their direction. As I mentioned earlier, there is an installation guide, so if you are unsure about installing Darkness Falls, you can take a look at that. I will be doing a few Darkness Falls Alpha 21 videos in the coming weeks, as a number of my Darkness Falls guides are now pretty dated. It was 2 years ago when I actually started my YouTube journey with my first video, which happened to be about Darkness Falls, and it is crying out to be updated. Anyway, you can take a look at my SnowBee Gaming website for other overhaul mod guides as well. Thanks for watching everyone, and I will see you in the next one.